I was in high school, I just loved ideas. I loved reading. I loved trying out new concepts, building things, little gadgets, taking apart electronics, things like that. And yeah, I started a business that was selling books online. That was really cool. So we were able to generate 5x profit for our local libraries by helping them sell books online. Later in university, I started a fashion club. We were able to help students get design internships. We were able to help students get modeling contracts, and we were able to help um, students create some of their first costumes and designs. So that was really cool. And then afterwards, when I lived in London, I created a portable hotspot business, which was extremely profitable because it was kind of like a telco business where you almost had zero costs, but the margins were insane. So that was a super fun business to scale, but extremely boring to run. So I've just been super entrepreneurial. And in terms of my career, I've been building apps at my day job for over 8 years. I've worked on ride sharing. I've worked on grocery delivery. I've worked on, let's see, what else? Jobs marketplace apps. So quite a lot of consumer apps. And one day I thought, why don't I just do this full time and build apps for myself instead of for a large company? So I spent some time learning how to build apps, development, and I created 2 apps myself just from working on them on the weekend. So that's how Fairy Trail actually got started. It was just a weekend project. I built it as a way for people to match on adventures. And the funny thing is, people who are looking to go on adventures with other people tended to be single, because if you're in a relationship, 90% of the trips you do are with your partner. So we actually had a lot of singles on our app. So we also opened it up to dating. So that was how Fairy Trail as a travel matching app also later became a way for people to find partners. And what's really exciting is over 50% of our users are digital nomads. So that's how I became more and more involved in the digital nomad community. And about 40% of our users want to be digital nomads. So about 90% of our users are somehow associated with digital nomads. Cool. So let's talk about if you should build a mobile app business and kind of the process that I went through to build my mobile app business. So as the previous presenter talked about a little bit, it all starts with the problem and then the ideas, and there's almost like a format in which to build a business. You can create a new product that pretty much never existed before. So one example of this is HipCamp. You can use HipCamp to book campsites and RVs, and um, it's kind of like Airbnb but for campsites. So that's kind of a cool new product that never existed and they launched. So that's one way to build an app. Another way is just to build a better product. So Get Your Guide is probably one of the best tour booking apps out there. Their interface is amazing. Their inventory is amazing. And I think they're just doing really well in the market because of that. So another way to build mobile app is just find a product you like and build a better version of it. The other idea is to build the same product in a different market. So Uber is dominating in the US. However, Uber isn't in a lot of other countries, for example, Eastern Europe and Africa, whereas Bolt is pretty much exactly the same as Uber, but they have a really, really amazing market share in Eastern Europe and in Africa. So it's super cool. You can just do Same business, but in a different market. And then Robinhood is my favorite example of doing something for cheaper. So I'm a huge fan of Robinhood because they completely revolutionized the fintech industry. Before, when you were wanting to trade stocks, you had to have a minimum balance, right? That was quite annoying. And then you had to pay for every trade you made. So sometimes that would be 35 bucks, right? And it's very annoying. So they came out with a product which was free trades. So again, if you could do the same product but cheaper, that's another way to create a mobile app that can win. So most important is build something people want. In terms of building Fairy Trail, I got the idea for Fairy Trail because I was having dinner with friends, and the recurring theme was, I want to travel, but I don't have anyone to travel with. Imagine having dinner with friends and like 5 times it's the same conversation. I want to travel, but I don't have anyone to travel with. Suddenly you think, oh, there might be a business opportunity here. So I built a prototype and then I showed it to people on the streets, right, to get some feedback. And this is a video of one of the like on the street guerrilla user research we did. Make sure that people do really want this, and then also get a customer wait list going. That helps a lot. One, just to prove out the concept, and then to get a bit of a head start when you do launch. So building, okay, this is the tricky part. There's basically 3 ways to build a mobile app. One is to learn how to code yourself. 2 is to find a contractor. And 3 is to find a co-founder who's technical and can build it. So I've actually tried all 3 of these, and I can give you the pros and cons. Learning how to code isn't too bad. It's not like doing a CS degree. After a lot of engineers finishing a CS degree actually can't build mobile apps because they don't really teach it. It's more something you can just learn in the evenings, on the weekends. It's not too bad. There's tons of courses. Some are paid and some are free. So it's not too hard to learn how to code. Another is to find a contractor. Our competitor, a travel buddy app called Going Solo, that's what they did. So the founder of Going Solo, she doesn't really know how to code, so she found contractors to build out her travel buddy app. So that also works. And then the third strategy is to find a co-founder. So another competitor of ours is Trip BFF, and the creator of that app has a co-founder who is technical. So he's building it out while she's doing the marketing. So these are 3 general paths to getting a mobile app built. I would also like to recommend new tools that make development even easier. So Flutter Flow is a tool that's almost like WordPress. It makes creating mobile apps super easy with a drag and drop interface. And it leverages the Flutter ecosystem and technology. So you'll be building on the latest cross-platform mobile technology. And I would say Flutter is probably the hottest mobile app cross-platform framework right now, and winning market share away from React Native. So super exciting stuff there. Expo is a really, really powerful tool for React Native. So if you already have experience building on React Native, you can use Expo to get things started super easily. So it basically automates a lot of DevOps stuff you would have to do otherwise. Ionic is also really cool. So Ionic allows you to mix and match different technologies. For example, React Native can plug into it, and you can also do things that you would be familiar with if you're coming from web development. So I also am a huge fan of Ionic. I've also used all of these tools, by the way. So Firebase is also really helpful in terms of a backend. So you don't even need to have your own servers and your own hosted database. With Firebase, you can just write to the database. You can deploy your backend code onto Firebase, so you don't really even need to have your own servers like on AWS or Google Cloud Platform. So Firebase is a really easy way to get started. So these are some really nifty tools that you could use to start development, and it should be pretty fast to get started. So once you've built the app, a huge chunk of the work to do next is to market it. For Fairy Trail, because we don't really have any marketing people on our team, we just leverage the freemium model, which is you just put the app out there on the App Store, and then you make it free, so people download it. And after a certain amount of usage, we would ask for payment. We're also offering different paid tiers. So there's a free tier, but you can also subscribe to a premium tier. So this is really cool way to get free traffic and free users. Another option is to do paid marketing. So I know Booking.com does a huge amount of paid marketing and ads. So, but it can be very expensive. For example, if we were to run ads to acquire a user for Fairy Trail, per install, it would be upwards of $30 to $60, and that's not registration. So someone can install the app and never even open the app, which is really annoying. So it's super expensive to acquire users using paid ads. So what Trip BFF has been doing, and I think it's super inspirational, is they've just been creating a lot of amazing social media content. Some of the videos and reels they put out get over 8 million views. And imagine creating 100, 300 of these videos, right? That's a ton of free traffic. So that's another really great way to market your app. So that's pretty much the process of how to, first come up with the idea, build the app, and then market the app. So very high level. So if you want to check out my app, here's a QR code. We also offer a free lifetime membership if you do the following. So that's my talk, and we have now 10 minutes that we can open up to questions. If you have any questions and are curious about developing your own mobile app, happy to answer. Thanks so much.